Good, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. You guys all want to do me a favor? You're being broadcasted live across the United States of America right now. Turn around and say, hey to the camera, even if you can't see it, go ahead and give them a shout out, please. There you go. We'll be broadcasting about 131 cities across the United States of America. I gotta tell you, Michigan, we're proud of you guys from the state of Minnesota, so that's what we're doing here. We stand with you in a big way. I just gotta say this because I've got 20 minutes, I'm a show host. I'll say 15 things in between. I can't do that today, so I might sound like a little bit of maybe robotic, but I gotta stick to the script. It's that important, okay? Because I gotta bring it to the present as to what's taking place in this country. Now, how many in this setting right now, at the Capitol here, how many know that your rights come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God?
Yeah.
It's important that you understand that. How many understand what the Declaration of Independence tells us when it tells us that those that serve we the people derive their just powers from the consent of we the people? How many know that? How many know that the preamble to the United States Constitution starts out with we the people, therefore we are the government, and what they do in this house, they're only doing whatever you let them get away with. This is a reflection of what we're tolerating in this country, folks, and we got to put a stop to it, period. So I got a question. Who's attempting to strip your God-given rights away from you more than tyrants? Nobody is. It seems that on a daily basis in America, our God-given rights are under attack by those that are supposed to uphold our God-given rights, right? Before they service, they put their hand on the Bible, swearing to God and man to uphold our rights against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Domestic is important here, so help me God. I also want to tell you that what's happening in your country also may help you understand as to why 94% of the people in this country do not believe the mainstream media, outside of the fact that they're owned by 6 corporations and they have useful idiots across the United States of America from the East Coast to the West Coast just reading out the teleprompter as to what they're supposed to say and what it is that they're not supposed to say. That's why we're here today. I also wanted to let you know that Congress, folks, Congress has an 11% approval rating. And I have a question I want to ask due to the fact that nobody trusts the mainstream media and nobody trusts the government. Who is it that told you about a virus? I'm just curious. Who told you that there was a virus? Oh, just hang on a second, friends. What have we seen since March in the United States of America? We've seen an inundation of propaganda and an over-exaggerated reporting coming from the useful idiots again in the mainstream media. I want you to listen carefully as to what I'm going to tell you next, because this has everything in the world as to what and why we're here today, why we have the Second Amendment. They've told us of lines of people waiting at hospitals in order to get tested for COVID-19. You know, this deadly new disease that's going to take us all out if we don't comply. Only to find out that when the average citizen goes to check out for themselves, these long lines at the hospitals, for some reason or another, there's not a person that can be found. Are you listening? We have seen the manufacturing of death records to make it justifiable when attacking the American people through an authoritarian-like forced compliance. That's what's happening here, friends. Forced compliance. Again, why are we an armed people? Hang with me, friends. Did you know that in Michigan alone, for the record, health center workers were caught staging as fake patients in your own state, and the mainstream media came in behind it, attempting to prop up the lies of what they're promulgating in your particular state? Did you also know, you Michiganites, that in Florida alone there were 333 labs that were exposed for 100% of all testings coming back concerning COVID-19 as positive? It's all a perpetuated fraud to force compliance. That's what this is all about. Now, we can see that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. You have an exceptional devil here. If you want to call her the governor, you can do that, but she's acting outside of her scope of authority. You know it and I know it. And the fact of the matter is the American people, you have the God-given right, if you take the time to peruse the U.S. Constitution, to impeach her, Article 2, Section 4, for the smallest of violations, and then indict her for her crimes against you and your God-given rights, Article 1, Section 3, Clause 7. What America needs is justice. And justice is not what you're getting. What you're getting is injustice. And the people in this country have their backs up against the wall. And to be quite honest with you, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Am I right, Michigan? Amen. I want to tell you how this is all coming down. This is coming down from a guy named Bill Gates, who, by the way, is not a licensed doctor, nor is he an elected representative. Listen carefully, nor is he an elected representative. No, in fact, he's the one that wants to depopulate the world. As a matter of fact, he's the one that said it. No one's making this up. Bill Gates said it out of his own mouth. And this should come as no surprise due to the fact that Bill Gates' daddy is the head of Planned Parenthood for decades. Now, it's interesting, your Whitmer here thinks to make America great is to wear a pink hat that says Planned Parenthood on it, where this country is responsible for murdering over 60 million of its own children. She thinks that's how you make America great again, and these are the people that are trying to tell you that this forced compliance upon you is for your safety and for your good. Consider the source, friends. Consider the source. All the while, in spite of the narrative by these useful idiots like this one down here in front of my face right now, that wants to just go along because he believes that doing his job is to promulgate lies, to divide and conquer the American people, to subject them to a new form of government, because that is what this is all about, friends. Now, in spite of what is going on in this country, it's interesting that we have doctors across America telling you the truth, and the thousands that are being censored and expunged by big tech companies, which is a violation of your First Amendment rights. We're talking about your rights again being violated. Let me give you a couple examples as to what's going on in this country. Our forefathers told us, tell the people the violations of their said representatives. So let me just do that for you, so you can understand what's going on in your country. California governor, if you want to call him that, Gavin Newsom's, his winery stayed open while over 100,000 businesses were shut down. That's a direct assault on the American people. The DC mayor exempts lawmakers and government employees from wearing masks. By the way, I had a guy come up to me and say, hey, how come you don't have your mask on? I had to look at him and say, I'm not as stupid as you are. Hey, don't shout me down, folks. Don't shout me down. But you know, we see all these good police officers just doing their job. The fact of the matter is, if they were doing their job, they'd be upholding the Constitution and dealing with that tyrant across the street, yeah? Hey, let's tell the truth and shame the devil, friends. That's where it starts. Simultaneously, friends, churches are being shut down. They're told what to do or else. At the same time, governors of these states are releasing thousands of criminals back out onto the streets, all the while endangering the lives of them that they are to protect. It's exactly what's going on here. These are the same people trying to disarm the American people. There's a reason that we are an armed nation, friends, for such things as we face in the present today. Governors such as the one in Michigan are even going so far, friends, as to tell businesses not to serve the people in their establishments unless they comply with the edicts of her unconstitutional orders. Hey, I want you to think about all the men that fought, bled, and died ratifying the Constitution, fighting, bleeding, and dying, standing up against tyrants over in the third worlds that you're tolerating to desecrate and to trample underfoot in your backyards. America, we're a blood-bought people, both in the spiritual and in the natural. Let me say this, government's purpose is to restrain men from violating law, to maintain order, and to condemn the wicked and justify the righteous, not the other way around. And the other way around is what we're witnessing here in America today. You ready for this one? In Indiana, if you don't comply with these unconstitutional executive orders, by the way, no such thing constitutionally. It's interesting, if you violate the orders in Indiana, you go to jail for 6 years. Let me tell you this, it's either them or it's your rights. There is no in-betweenites, Americans. There is no in-betweenites. Again, they want you to believe that this is all about your safety. Nothing could be further from the truth, friends. They want control over every facet of your life, and what's sad to say is they can't even control their own lives. You know, and I don't care about how they're accredited or what kind of accolade they carry or what college they went to. If they don't know how to tell the truth, they ain't good for nobody. Amen? Hey folks, what's taking place here is the American people need to become an educated people. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, Hosea 4:6. The Constitution is based on the Bible. It's called the Mosaic Institution, common law in the United States of America. What we need to begin to do, instead of laying the burden, allowing them to lay the burden of proof on ourselves, we need to lay it to them and ask them the question, hey, so what? By the way, where did you derive your delegated authority to attempt to strip us from our God-given rights? It's not there. It's not there, friends. There isn't one. No law, unconstitutional. Our forefathers had said obedience to God is in resisting tyranny. How many of us profess to be Christians here today? Stand up and play the man in the face of God. Learn from your forefathers. When you read the Declaration of Independence, 3/4 of that documentation is our forefathers throwing off a tyrant that would not be ruled by God. Amen?
Amen.
What's going on is a clear violation of the 14th Amendment. And again, all of this, I want you to think about this, all of this is being sold to you over a virus that they cannot even prove. I want you to think about this, 55% of the businesses in this country will never reopen again, while big corporations in this newly formed fascist state connected to corruption in government are flourishing like mad. You've been lied to, America. You've been lied to. And I believe that we're all old enough to understand that every country deserves the government that it has. And folks, we're here, but I gotta tell you, our children do not deserve what we're dealing with. Thomas Paine, one of our forefathers, said, if there be trouble, let it come in my time. How many agree with Thomas Paine? There's gonna be trouble, let it come in my time, because our kids do not deserve this. Now, I want you to listen to this. It's important. If you're talking, please listen to this. I drove 13 hours to hang out with you. But it's important that you understand that this perpetual fear has been aimed at the American people decade after decade after decade after decade. A presidential contender called me up, Alan Keyes, and asked me the question if I'd be on his show. The first thing he asked me was, what do you think of the coronavirus? I said to him, well, we had Vietnam in the 1960s, we had the energy crisis in the 1970s, AIDS, the war in Lebanon, Grenada, Libya in the 1980s, the war in Panama, Gulf War, Somalia Civil War, Bosnia War, and illegal drug wars in the 1990s. It's one thing after another, America. Then in 2000, the Afghan War, the Iraq War, the Syrian War, and then Y2K was going to destroy everything. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. In 2001, there was anthrax. That was going to kill us. 2002, West Nile virus was going to kill us. 2003, SARS was going to get us all. 2005, the bird flu was going to kill every one of us. 2006, E. coli was going to take us out. 2008, the financial collapse was going to destroy us all. 2009, the swine flu was going to kill us. 2012, I'm not making this up. Friends, you can't make this up. And every order that came down from corruption in government was there to strip you away from more of your God-given rights through every emergency that they declared through the lying 6 corporation-owned media on a global basis. 2012, the main calendar predicted the end of the world. You remember this? 2013, North Korea was going to cause the World War III. 2014, the Ebola virus was going to kill us all. 2015, ISIS was going to kill us. Why is our government attempting to disarm us in the face of an enemy that is present? It's very telling. James Madison, the 4th President of the United States of America, said, if tyranny or oppression ever come into this land, it will come in the guise of fighting a foreign enemy. Folks, a foreign enemy is not attacking you. It's your said representatives that are attacking your God-given rights. 2016, the Zika virus was going to kill us. 2020, the coronavirus was going to kill us. Today, Americans are under attack like never before. So let me make clear, friends, that it's not a virus that's under attack. It's the American people that are under attack, and we better get the story straight, because if we don't stand up and play the man before God and our children, we're going to pass off to them nothing but chains to be enslaved for decades to come. And as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord, because resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. Thank you very much.
I love it.
I gotta get some of that too.
I love that sign too. My neighbor has one.
That is cool.
My governor's.
We have them available for
Coronavirus
sale.
made in China.
$20 for the sign and $25 for the flags.
That's
the
great,
Trump
man.
Unity Bridge.
Bunch of patriots
Right on
out here
over
today,
there.
guys. We appreciate
Cool.
what you're doing out here.
Keeps it on the road. It had $20,000 with the damages done to it in
I went to the Trump rally in Freeland
Really?
Yep.
on Thursday last week,
Some idiot.
and I do
took off
First Amendment audits. I go out, I record public officials, I record the police in the line of duty, things like that.
Yeah.
And the state police went to the Trump campaign security and had me trespassed. Wouldn't even let me in.
Yes.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was there to support Trump, and they kicked me out. Wouldn't even let me
Not
in.
right now.
Okay.
I was kind of hurt about and offended over that.
I'm
But
gonna go
you're good,
look
brother.
around for a little while.
You guys.
That's right. Come out to Lansing, guys. Flex your rights.
That's right.
If we don't stand
Right.
up and flex our
Your
rights,
rights.
they'll take them away from us.
Yep.
They're working on it as we speak.
Yeah.
They're trying to.
So since I can't open carry or carry, I just come out and flex my First Amendment rights, stick a camera in their faces.
Yeah. That's good. We need more people like that too.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
I've got state police on film on my YouTube channel that can't even quote the First Amendment of the Constitution. You swore an oath to protect that Constitution, but you can't even tell me what you're protecting. That's sad. But then I've got a couple. I got a Capitol State Police right over here at the governor's building the other day, or last week, that actually, he attempted to quote the First Amendment to me. He got about 3 parts of it right, but he tried, so.
Hey, what's your YouTube channel?
Frickin' Media.
Frickin' Media.
FRICN stands for Framers Rights Independent Citizen News.
You heard it here, y'all. Check it out.
I've only been doing audits for about a month and a half, but I got a little over 2,000 subscribers already, so.
That's good.
Cool.
That's right. It's amazing how all the amendments protect all the amendments. You take one away and they all fall.
That's right. That's why we got to protect this one especially.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Or we'll be Britain or Australia before it's over. You can see what's going on there.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
The Second Amendment, the right to bear arms.
I'm bearing
Never
arms.
said anything about you have to have a license to carry.
Right.
Anything like that.
Doesn't say if you was convicted of a felony or anything like that.
No, because in the olden days, cowboys and Indians, I mean, hey,
They were all felons back then,
They
man.
just shoot each other. They'd let it all sort themselves out.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So,
They would. But you know, tyrannical New World Order is taking
he's
over
got
everywhere.
He's got
So
number 2 too. All right, Second Amendment shirt. All right, I love it. Love it.
it's awesome out here. Yes, it is.
We all should have got these shirts and just, you know what I mean? That would have been cool. Just like one big unit.
This is awesome. We'll go over here and get a. I seen, man, this thing's been all over the country, hasn't it? The Trump Unity Bridge.
Yep.
I seen a video of it out in California the other day.
Yeah,
Like they get around, man.
the guy that's selling the flags is telling me that it got damaged in Tulsa.
Got damage.
Yeah, there's
Tulsa?
$20,000 worth of damage.
Oh,
They
holy
fixed.
smokes! I bet that guy put all of his own money into that too.
I'm sure he
I bet he did. I remember he was here for Operation Greenlight too. I was here for that.
Okay. Damn. My bad.
Awesome time. Awesome time.
Didn't mean to get in the way, sir.
Ain't got to worry about no protests or violence breaking out here, buddy.
You're all right.
No. Oh, there's too many people.
So why'd you come down here to Lansing today?
Support the Second Amendment
Why do you think it's so important to keep our Second Amendment rights?
because everyone has a right to defend themselves.
All the calls to defund the police, and with Democrats trying to take our Second Amendment rights away, if by chance that law was passed and we had no more Second Amendment, and they asked for you to turn your guns over, would you do so?
Nope. Come and take them.
I appreciate your time, man.
Sir.
So tell me, sir, what'd you come down to the Second Amendment march for?
To exercise my constitutional right to bear arms and to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press. Everything that, you know, this Constitution, this government was founded on, supposedly. Okay, but this governor back here wants to take everything away from us. And I say, vote Trump 2020.
Amen. I'm with you on that. I'm a Trump supporter myself. Why do you think it's so important that we keep our Second Amendment rights?
Because with everything that's going on nowadays, I mean, we should have the right to bear arms. We should have the right to protect what is ours and not have things taken from us. That's our constitutional right as a people, as our forefathers were in many years ago. And now they're trying to take it away. And it's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to you. It's not even fair to the people that are fighting against it.
So what do you think if they defund the police and take away your Second Amendment right? How are you going to protect your family? You thought about that?
You know, I don't know how I could, other than, I'll split their head open with whatever, I'll do whatever I can to protect them. If I don't have a gun, I mean, I'd fight with my last breath for my family.
If they were to tell you today that there's going to be no more Second Amendment rights, would you turn your guns over?
No, I would not. They would have to fight me.
So how you doing today, sir?
Great, how are you?
Not too bad. Beautiful day. Why'd you come down to Lansing today?
Because I believe in the Second Amendment.
Yeah. One more quick question for you. If they were to tell you today that there's going to be no more Second Amendment rights and they defund police and they ask you to turn your guns over, would you do it?
Nope.
No? Why do you think it's so important to keep our Second Amendment rights?
Well, I mean, there's just a ton of reasons, but just recently, if you see all the riots going on where innocent people are being assaulted, at the same time, Democrats are calling for defunding the police. So they've always said, well, if you have a problem, call the police, they'll protect you. Oh, by the way, now we're going to defund the police. You have to protect yourself.
Yes, sir.
And the other, one of the main reasons is people owning personal firearms prevents the government from becoming a tyrant.
Yes, it does.
So those are my main two reasons right now, but there are more.
I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
You have a great day, and definitely vote Trump.
Definitely. God bless you.
You too, sir. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to wrap this thing up. But don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, this is Outdoor Stories Television.